some major drama was brewing. Nico Iamaleava, the starting quarterback for the Tennessee Volunteers, has now transferred to UCLA as so much has transpired over the past week and a half. So I'll kind of break everything down for you guys here, walk you through the timeline, and give you my thoughts. How this all started was Nico, the starting quarterback for Tennessee, wanted more money. He was being paid $2 million by the university through the NIL, name, image, and likeness. He, on Friday, did not show up to team meetings, and he also did not show up to practice as he was holding out for more money. He wanted a deal worth $4 million per year, which was double his initial salary of $2 million. Josh Heupel, the head coach of Tennessee and the booster program for the Volunteers, ultimately decided that they did not want to give him this money, and they said, we need to make a statement here. They said, hit the road. You're not our quarterback anymore, and they parted ways from him. And this is super shocking because we all know how talented Nico is. He's a 6'6", 215-pound stud of a quarterback that has literally the ceiling to be the number 1 overall pick. He was right below Arch Manning as a 5-star quarterback just 2 short years ago. Like, that's the type of talent that this kid could give you. He was in the college football playoff last year. Now, they would ultimately lose to Ohio State, the team that would win it all, but Nico was the guy for Tennessee. This team was supposed to be really good coming into this year, and Nico was a top 10 Heisman candidate. Now, all of a sudden, Josh Heupel and Tennessee make this really quick decision as we're already in the heart of spring ball here, ladies and gentlemen. This is not like he did this right after the college football playoff. He's like, you know what? I want to seek some more money. No, he was like, oh, if I did this in the spring, they'll be held hostage to pay me this money because they really can't go pick up another great quarterback in the portal because everybody already moved. Everybody already did all of their stuff and it's kind of late. So he did this later to try and really hold them hostage. And boy, it blew up in his face. And I think Tennessee made an example of the entire situation. Hey, this whole NIL thing has really been like the wild, wild west in college football, and a lot of people do not like it. And I myself am a person that believes these athletes should get paid, but I believe that there needs to be guardrails. There needs to be some sort of structure in place or revenue sharing system so that these guys aren't just transferring every other season or allowed to hit the portal whenever they want, right when the year's over or when the college, like, this is crazy. And you saw this in college basketball too. You had players transferring while their team was still in March Madness. Last year, you also had players that were hitting the portal for the teams that were in the college football playoff. That is not right at all. So my point with this whole situation is that there needs to be some guardrails in college football and in college athletics when it comes to the NIL. And Nico right now is the first quarterback ever to hold out, the first player ever to hold out in hopes of getting a 2x salary boost. So later in the story, on Wednesday, he would have to hit the portal because Tennessee's saying, kick rocks, we don't want to deal with you anymore. He would then transfer to UCLA for a deal worth $1.75 million. So really $250,000 less than what he was making at Tennessee. That's what it's been reported. That's the estimation that he's making at UCLA. Now, it's interesting because his brother, Madden Iamaleava, had committed to UCLA, decommitted, and went to Arkansas. So now he's going to be the Arkansas quarterback. Nico then transfers to UCLA. He's now going to be their starting quarterback as we head into this year. Boy, oh boy. Wild situation here, folks. Wild situation. He originally was making $2 million. Wanted $4 million. He thinks, okay, I can hold them hostage in the spring here because we're heading into the summer and there's not really another quarterback that they can go be competitive with. So they have to pay me. Surely, right? They have to pay me. Nope. Kick rocks, buddy. $1.75 million is what he's making now. A wild, wild situation. And my buddy Frank Michael Smith, huge following on TikTok, Instagram, had him on the show last year. He made a great video about the whole situation that I completely agree about. Nico wanted the short-term money, and I believe it was his dad or somebody in his circle. I'm not going to speculate on that, on who it was, but somebody in his inner circle got in his ear and wanted him to make this move. For Nico, he could have been the number 1 overall pick next year over Arch Manning. He has that type of ceiling. 6'6", ladies and gentlemen, 215 pounds, has a missile of an arm. Missile. He's mobile. Everything you want in a quarterback. He's the full package. That's how good he is. He could be the number 1 overall pick. And if you know what type of money is associated with that, it's a lot. It's a lot. And Tennessee is better at developing players than UCLA is. UCLA hasn't had a Pro Bowl player since 2008, I believe the year was. Great statistic there from Frank Michael Smith, so I appreciate him for that. But man, he threw away the long-term money for the short-term money, it seems. And I really hope he's still able to figure it out at UCLA. I think he will be able to. I hope he does. But if he doesn't, this is going to be one of those examples where it's like a what-if situation. A guy that could have been the next number 1 overall pick, the next franchise quarterback in the NFL. That's how good he is. If you just purely look at the stats, you're not going to think, oh, why is he hyping up this quarterback this much? No, he was the number 2 overall prospect right behind Arch Manning. I think he would be in the exact same boat next year, to be quite honest with you guys. Really crazy situation here. Ultimately, I think it was a terrible move for him to do that. I think everybody could tell you that right now. But man, wild stuff here happening in college football. Wild, wild stuff.